Good morning, students. This session is for class 11th, and we are studying vector. So, students, today we are going to study vectors, and our topic will be vector resolution. And then we are going to study how we can find out component of a given vector in two different perpendicular directions. Okay, and then we will study the different product that are vector and scalar product of vectors. So let's start with vector resolution. So you can see here our topic is resolution of vectors into two rectangular components. Okay, so students, what is meaning of vector resolution? So we have discussed some portion of this topic yesterday. The meaning of resolution is the breaking of a vector, or you can say it is reverse process of vector addition. You know that in vector addition you have two vectors A and B, and then you can add these two vectors by vector addition, triangle or parallelogram law. But here we have already a vector A. You can see in the diagram we have vector A. Now our aim is to find out the component of these two vectors, component of this vector A. It means the effect of this vector A in two different directions. Okay, so it is our aim, but condition is these two directions must be perpendicular to each other. Okay, so you can see here this one is a vector A, and you can see this AX. This AX is the effect of vector A along x axis, along this axis x. Similarly you can see here AY. So AY is effect of vector A along y axis. So these two are the effect of vector A along x and y axis, and these two are known as the rectangular component of vector A. Rectangular component because these two are perpendicular to each other. You can say, or you can see here, this AX and this AY are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so they are considered as rectangular component of vector A. So in this diagram you can see, if A, you can see this vector A is broken into two different vector AX and AY, and these two AX and AY are perpendicular to each other. So the process by which this is done is known as vector resolution. Okay, so you can see here the topic, resolution of vector into rectangular components. So I hope you understand what is meaning of vector resolution. So vector resolution is a process in which we get two perpendicular component of a given vector. Okay, or you can say two rectangular component of a vector. So how can you find out these two perpendicular component? For this, suppose you have vector A. Okay, so the initial point of vector A is considered as the origin. Okay, now draw the y-axis and x-axis. You can see in the diagram. Now draw the perpendicular from the tip of the vector to x-axis and y-axis, and then draw the arrows at the 2 points on the x-axis and y-axis. So this O, and suppose this one is, you can see here, this one is suppose point suppose N. So you can say ON is a component of vector A along y-axis. Similarly, if this one is M, then you can say OM is a component of vector A along x-axis. Okay, so you can see here and this is the method by which you can find out the component of a given vector in two different and perpendicular directions. Okay, so I hope you understand how can you get the rectangular component. So let me give you one example. Suppose this one is a vector, so try to find out two perpendicular component, or you can draw the vectors in different directions. It can be in some direction like this. Okay, so you must draw this y-axis and this x-axis and draw the perpendiculars from x and y-axis. Now this one is one component and this one is other component. So you can see in this diagram, this one is one component and this one is another component of this vector A. So by these methods you can find out the component of a given vector in two perpendicular directions. Okay, now you can find out the magnitude of this component AX. So the length of OM, it means the length of OM will be equal to the magnitude of the vector along x-axis. Okay, so if this angle is theta, you can see here, if this point is P, then you can see angle POM is theta. So from this right angle triangle you can find out value of cos theta. So if you find the value of cos theta, you can see here cos theta is equal to, in the diagram cos theta is equal to AX, this one is the base. For this angle, this AX will be base and this A will be hypotenuse. So cos theta is equal to AX upon A. So you can write A is equal to A cos theta. You can see here cos theta is equal to AX upon A. So you can write AX is equal to A cos theta. So this AX, you can see here, this AX is the magnitude of the vector along x-axis, which is one of the component of vector A. So this one is the magnitude. Now you can find out the value of AX if magnitude of vector A and angle theta is known. So if you want to find out vector AX, you must know the magnitude of vector A, means initial vector which is given, and angle of that vector from x-axis, you can see here. Similarly, if you want to find out this AY, you know that if this angle is theta, this angle must be 90 minus theta, because this total angle is 90 and this one is theta. So this angle must be 90 minus theta. Okay, so if this angle is 90 minus theta, you can use this 90 minus theta for this triangle ONP. Okay, so cos 90 minus theta is equal to sin theta. So or you can use this angle is equal to this one. So you can write here cos so you can write here this cos 90 minus theta. Okay, so in this triangle, it means in triangle OPN, in this triangle cos 90 minus theta is equal to, this one is base, AY is the base, it means AY upon A. Okay, this one is AY. So ay, this one is equal to sine theta, so you can write here sine theta, and sine theta is equal to ay upon a. So ay is equal to a sine theta, you can see here ay is equal to a sine theta. So from this diagram you can find out the magnitude of the two vectors. It means the component vector of a along x axis and along y axis. So these gives the values of the components of vector a along x axis, this one is along x axis, this one is along y axis. But the most important point is, in this case the angle is taken from the x axis. Okay, so this point is very important. If angle theta is taken from y axis, this will be changed. Okay, so must remember, in this case when ax is equal to a cos theta, then angle is taken from x axis. Okay, if angle is taken from y axis, then this ax will be equal to a sine theta. Okay, so these will be changed. So must remember, in this derivation this angle theta is taken from the x axis. Okay, so I hope you understand this point. So if you understand these things, we can find out the value of tan theta if the components are known. So suppose components are known and you want to find out the value of the vector a, then you can use these equations and you can say, after squaring these two equations and adding together each other, you will get from here ax square is equal to a square cos square theta, and ay square is equal to, you can write here a square, then this one is square, then this one is square. Similarly ay square is equal to a square sine square theta, right? So now if you add these together, means you will get ax square plus ay square, so you can write here ax square plus ay square. So ax square plus ay square is equal to you can see here a square is common. If you add these portions together, you can write here a square, and you can write in bracket cos square plus sine square. So I am using c for cos and s for sine. So you can write like this. In this bracket, this c represents cos theta and this s represents sine theta. So you know that cos square theta plus sine square theta is equal to 1. This is one of the identity which is given in class 10th. Okay, so I hope you all know about this identity, that is cos square theta plus sine square theta is equal to 1. So this portion becomes 1. So if this portion becomes 1, you can write ax square plus ay square is equal to a square, or you can see the same formula in terms of a, that is a is equal to under root ax square plus ay square. So this one is the magnitude of vector a if you know components of a, that are ax and ay. So if ax and ay are known, you can use this formula and you will get the resultant. If you notice, you can see this one is very similar to the Pythagoras theorem for a right angle triangle. Okay, and this one is the place of hypotenuse, and one of them is base and second one is perpendicular. So if you see this diagram, you can see here this any one part is a triangle, right angle triangle. Okay, and in this triangle, this one is hypotenuse, this is ax, and this perpendicular is equal to this ay, so magnitude of this part is equal to ay. It means this a can be calculated by using Pythagoras theorem, and this a is at the place of the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle. So I hope you understand why this formula is here. So you can see here, this is the formula, a is equal to under root ax square plus ay square. This one is the formula for magnitude of the vector a, of which ax and ay are component. Okay, now if you want to find out this angle theta, then what is the angle between component ax and vector a, then again we are going to use these equations. I am going to erase this square, so I am erasing this square so we can understand the things easily. So if you want to find out the angle theta, this angle theta, so you can divide this, equation by this equation. Okay, here if you divide this equation, ay is equal to a sin theta by ax is equal to a cos theta, then this part is cancelled, it means a is cancelled, and sin theta by cos theta is equal to tan theta, and here you will get ay by ax. So you can see here tan theta is equal to ay by ax. So by, if you know the magnitude of the component ay and ax, you can find out the angle between ax and vector a. So these are some very important points which you should notice, and these points will help you to solve the numerical problems related to this topic. And in further topics there will be use of resolution of vector, so you must revise this topic many times so that you will be able to resolve a given vector in two rectangular components. Okay, so I hope you understand how you can resolve a given vector into two rectangular components. The word rectangular component we are using here for two perpendicular components. Okay, so if there is a vector a and you can find out the effect of vector a into two perpendicular directions, so that effect along two perpendicular directions are known as resolved vector of a given vector. Okay, so I hope you understand what is meaning of resolution and what is meaning of rectangular components. Okay, so and you must remember the, by this formula you can find out the value of ax, value of ay, magnitude of vector a, then angle formed by vector a from vector ax, or you can say along x-axis. So these are something about the resolution of vector. Now we are going to study about direction cosine of a vector. Okay, so before starting direction cosine, let me tell you how to write the vector in component form. So student, if I is unit vector along x-axis, then you can write the vector ax. Suppose this one is vector ax, so vector ax along x-axis can be written like this: magnitude of ax, that is ax, and the unit vector, that is I. Because we know that a vector can be represented like this: vector is equal to the magnitude of vector multiplied by its unit vector. So along x-axis the standard unit vector is I cap. Okay, now similarly for y-axis you can write, so let me erase this part. So along y-axis this can be written as ay vector is equal to ay j cap, ay j cap. Okay, so you can see here ax vector is equal to ax I cap and ay vector is equal to ay j cap. Okay, so since this vector a can be written as a is equal to, if we use triangle method of addition, you can write ax vector and plus ay vector by using both. Either you are using triangle law or you are using parallelogram law. From both the law you will get vector a is equal to ax, this one is, then ay, this one. Let me erase so you can understand better. Suppose I am telling about this part actually. 1 minute. So you can see here in this diagram, if this one is vector a, this part, this dotted line is equal to ay, this one is ay. So you can see ax, then ay, sum of ax and ay is equal to vector a. So if this one is vector a, then a is equal to vector ax plus vector ay. Okay, now you can replace this ax by ax I cap and this ay by ay j cap. So you can write this part vector a is equal to ax I plus ay ay and j cap, ay j cap. So vector a is equal to, you can see here, axi plus ay j cap. So student, this equation or this representation of vector is known as the component form of the vector a. Okay, this a is represented in form of its component ax and ay. This I cap shows that this part is along x axis. Okay, similarly this j cap shows that this part ay is along y axis. Okay, so I hope you understand how you can write a vector in component form. So if vector is given in this form, that is vector a is equal to axi plus ayj, then you can find out the magnitude, that is magnitude of this a is equal to this formula. You can see a is equal to under root ax square plus ay square. Okay, and by comparing the coefficient of I cap and j cap, you can find out the value of ax and ay in a given vector. Okay, so I hope you understand. If this one is a three-dimensional vector, suppose in case of 3 dimension, this vector can be resolved in 3 different components, along x-axis, along y-axis and along z-axis. In that case az is equal to this vector az is equal to az and then k cap. So you can write az k cap. So you can write ax plus ay plus az. So you can write here a z vector, and you add here axi plus ayj plus az k. So you will get vector a is equal to axi plus ayj plus az k. So this one is a vector in 3-dimensional form. Okay, it means this vector has its component ax along x axis, ay along y axis, and az along z axis. It means its effect along x axis is ax in magnitude, ay along y axis in magnitude, and az along z axis in magnitude. Okay, so this shows the effect of vector a along different axes. The combination of these three components becomes the vector a. So this represents the resultant of these vectors, that are axi together is a vector quantity, whereas the ax is only magnitude and I cap is a unit vector. So axi is a complete vector along x axis. Similarly ayj is complete vector along y axis, and azk is complete vector along z axis. So a is considered as the resultant of the vector axi plus ayj plus azk. So this one is the answer. Student, if you add the three vectors together, that are axi plus ayj plus azk, then you will get the same resultant vector a. So this form is known as the component form of a vector. Okay, so the resultant of vector a is given by a is equal to ax square plus ay square plus az square in under root if it is in 3 dimension. Okay, so you can write here az whole square. This one is the formula for the magnitude of resultant vector a of vector axi, ayj and azk. This one is this complete in under root. It means this ax, ay and az all are in under root. So if we are talking about the 3-dimensional condition or 3-dimensional format of a vector, so our next topic will be the direction cosines of a vector. So let us start direction cosine. What is meaning of direction cosine? So you can see here the definition. Let me first give you definition. If any vector a subtend an angle alpha, beta and gamma with x axis, y axis and z axis respectively, and its component along ax, ay and az. It means suppose there is a vector a which subtend an angle alpha from x axis, beta from y axis and gamma from z axis, and its component, it means the component of vector a along x axis is ax and along y axis is ay and along z axis is az, then it is found that cos alpha is ax upon a, then cos beta is equal to ay upon a, and cos gamma is equal to az upon a. This is from the diagram you can calculate. Now from these, if you solve, you will get these identity. This identity is very important. Cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma will be equal to 1. You can find out from this. If you square these three and add together, you will get this identity. Okay, so this is known as direction cosine. To solve the question based on this topic, you can use this identity cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. Okay, so students, try to solve questions and keep practicing, then only you will get the deep understanding of the concept like these, because these concepts are not very easy, but with the practice you will get more and more confidence to apply the identities, to apply the formula, and to find out the different values in different questions. So keep practicing, the numerical problems based on the topics which we are taught in different classes. And I hope you understand today's topic, that are vector resolution and direction cosines of a vector. And in next class we will discuss the subtraction of vector, then multiplication, and vector and scalar product of a vector. Okay, thank you for watching. Keep studying.